Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Well, today's an exciting day here at Dandelion Cottage. We have our first daffodils. So I don't know what happened to this bunch, but they got kind of trampled down. I have a feeling some wayward chickens got into the daffodils, and you can see that the petals are all pecked. It could have been another animal. I don't want to blame the chickens without actual evidence, but I have a feeling. You can see this little bud has been gnawed away on. But that doesn't matter, because as artists, we can easily use less than perfect specimens and fill in the details. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to paint some daffodils. I'm going to use this little bunch as my inspiration and my color reference. They're very pretty and they're very, very fragrant. And I love the ones that you get with the fragrance. They're my favorite. And because today is getting towards the middle of the month, I want to remind everybody that the Watercolor Card Club subscription period ends on the 15th. So if anybody's interested in learning more about mixing greens and creating form and depth with your paintings, you really want to participate in this current month. And then on the 16th, the next month will open up. But it's an ongoing subscription, and I'd love to have you. It's a terrific group, and you can find out more information about it on my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com. Just go to the Watercolor Card Club, and I will also be posting all of the information and all of the materials that I used today below after the video. So you can come back and find all those links. The other thing I want to remind you of is to please subscribe to Notes from Dandelion Cottage, because then I will send you all these reminders in your email, so you won't miss any of the free classes, the workshops, the Watercolor Card Club, and all the other information that I'd like to share with you. So to get started, today, instead of painting with watercolors, I'm going to paint with ink. And it's the same thing. And so if there are paper crafters out there who are interested in learning how to paint with ink, the Watercolor Card Club is perfect for you too, because the concepts are the same regardless of the medium that you're working in. So if you want to work with inks, watercolor pencils, blends, whatever it is that you like, you'll still get something out of this. So for the paper crafters out there, I'm going to be using the Daffodil Daydream stamp set, which is also available in my online store. And again, I will be posting all that information below with a host code so that you can get a little gift from me if you place an order of $100 or more. For my cards, I have very vanilla medium envelope. I have a standard very vanilla card base. This is the thick very vanilla, and I've already glued down a daffodil. What is the name of that color? Daffodil Delight cardstock as a mat. And then I have a piece of the shimmer white that I'm going to use for my painting, and that's going to go over the top like that. So the re-inkers that we use to re-ink our stamp pads are perfect for painting with. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I have some inks here. Okay, so this is just a white china tray, and I've got yellow, red, and blue. As always, I'm keeping it very simple, just 3 colors. And let me just check my settings here, make sure that this is working. There we are. Very good. And oh, there's all kinds of people out there. Good morning, everybody. I see Kelly, Linda, Sandra, and Ginger. Ginger, I hope you made it ahead of time this time. I think you should have gotten a notice to let you know that I was going live. So glad to see you here. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Maybe that's a little too much. Here we go. Okay. And I'm going to be using just these two stamps today. I'm not going to put I'm going to leave a place for the sentiment, but I'm not going to put a sentiment on there because I'm not sure exactly what I will be using this card for. I have a feeling it's going to be a birthday card, but I'm just going to hold off a little bit until I have a recipient that I want to send it to. For my stamping, I'm using Sahara Sand ink. And I'm going to get out my stamp pad. I think it's time to change the cover. And I'm going to do a couple of different techniques today. I'm going to mask and I'm going to stamp off. So if you're new to stamping, this is very easy to do. This is a great technique for beginning stampers. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my image. This is the one that I want, in the larger daffodil that I want to have in my foreground. So I'm just going to get this placed where I want it. So there we go. And then what I've done to prepare ahead of time is I just took a Post-it note, and we also now have some really nice masking paper that's going to be available in the new catalog May 3rd. And if you need a catalog, you will find a place on my website where you can request a catalog. And that website again is dandelioncottagedesign.com. And I will be putting that catalog link below as well. So I'm just masking off that image that I just stamped. And next, I'm going to take the image with the smaller daffodils, and this time I'm going to stamp off. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp once on my scrap paper, and then stamp on my paper here. And what that's going to do, it's going to give me an image behind this one. But before I remove the Post-it note, I'm going to do that one more time. So again, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to put these over here. Now I can, well, let me get all this stuff out of the way. And I can save this in my stamp case to use again. So if you look closely, what you'll see is I've got all of these different stamps sort of clustered together to make a kind of a natural bouquet, the way you would see the daffodils in nature. And I still have a little bit of room down here for my sentiment. I'm going to be using my water painter, which is a brush that I'll be listing below. It has a reservoir in the handle where you can put water. So if you want to take your paints with you outside and do some plein air painting, this is a great way to do it. And I'm going to begin by taking a very, very light wash of my yellow. I'm just going to start getting these flowers ready. Now my daffodils, as I'm sure you know, they come in all different colors and color combinations. But I'm going to paint these daffodils as if they've got this yellow center and these pale creamy petals. And so I'm going to paint very, very lightly. And I'm mixing up a little bit of very light green. And I'll get these petals started in the background. Just like so. There's Houdini. He's ready to go outside. I let all the other chickens out earlier, and they are so happy. For anybody who knows anything about chickens, you know that they're kind of light activated. And today we've got a beautiful, sunny, warm spring day, and so they are very excited. And they're busy digging in the earth, trying to find some interesting bugs and worms and seeds and all sorts of goodies. All right, so there's my first wash of color, and now I'm just going to do a little bit of shading. So I'm just bringing a little bit of red into my color mixtures now. In the Watercolor Card Club, I go much more into detail about color mixing, your materials, techniques, and much, much more. We talk about a different concept each month, so that could be anything from values to shading to perspective and design. So a lot of information there. And if that sounds like something you'd like to do, I'd love to have you join us. And this, as I mentioned before, this particular month that we're just about to close out the registration for is particularly important because it's going to set you up for a season of painting. All right, so there's going to be a lot of very basic beginner and basic fundamentals that you need to know that will help you so much, not just for this month, but for the rest of your painting experience. So don't miss that. Again, go to my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com and you can get on my mailing list notes from Dandelion Cottage, and I will send you all the information about how you can subscribe and what else we have going on. The Watercolor Card Club also includes a live Zoom class where you can show your work and get constructive criticism and help with whatever problems you may be trying to work on. And you can see what everybody else is doing and benefit from the other people's questions. And it's a really, 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 really nice group of people. It's a lot of fun. And we have a Facebook group where we can share our work. And yeah, so it's something I think that both fine artists and paper crafters will get a lot out of. Right, now I think what I want to do is add a little bit of a background here. I'm not done with the flowers yet, but I'm just going to let them dry a little bit while I work. In some of these other places. And add a little more detail. Now you can also draw with your brush, so you can add some texture, like these flowers have a little bit of a ruffled quality about them, so I can accent some of those ruffles. There we go. And now I'm taking a stronger green mixture. This time I'm adding a little more ink and a little more pigment to get a stronger color. There we go. And underneath the flower, you often have this little section that has some papery material that protected the buds and now has fallen back away from the flower, so we can add that. Get my bud here. There we go. And let's see, I think I'll add a few more leaves. There we go. Alright, so that's starting to look like something. And I'm going to take just some very pale wash and put a little shadow on my petals. And finally, I'm just going to add a couple of darker accents. And I'm letting this bleed right off the bottom of the paper here this time. Alright, so I think that'll do it. I could add a little bit of a wash behind. So maybe I'll do just a little bit over off to the side here, and that'll help to bring out some of these pretty petals. Okay, so I'm going to give this a chance to dry. Just want to add a little more color over on this side. And once the paper is dry, which isn't going to take too long today because it's really quite warm. What I'll do is I'm going to take a piece of the Daffodil Delight Ruched ribbon. Now this is on the last chance list, and I love this ribbon. It's one of my favorites because I really like the thickness of it. I love the texture on it, but especially I love that it's Daffodil Delight because we don't usually get that many yellow ribbons. And so I think this is a particularly good one. It's almost dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna figure out where I want my ribbon to go. So I'm gonna say about almost an inch from the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to take my tear and tape, double-sided tape, and I'm just going to run that across the back like so. Burnish that down with my bone folder. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will take a quick look before I sign off. And also, anybody who is watching, please like and follow Daffodil Dandelion Cottage Design. It really helps me to get my videos out to more people, and I would appreciate that very much. So please take a minute to just like and follow. So here we go. So here's my ribbon. Just going to give that a little fold on the end there. And I want the bow to be over on this side. I'm all fumble fingers today. There we go. Okay, so just a little bow. Look how pretty that ribbon is. The ribbon, as I mentioned, is on the last chance shelf, the retiring shelf, and it's deeply discounted. I think it's about $3 for 10 yards, and it's going to go fast. So if you think you might want to get some of this ribbon, don't wait. And I'm going to put up that host code. So here's the host code that you can use. And if you place an order of $100 or more, you're also going to get a special gift from me. So this is a great way for you to be able to get the materials that you use to make this card. You can get the Daffodil Daydream Bundle of the stamps along with the dies. And you can get all the other items that you see me using here today. So there is my painting. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of my multi-purpose liquid glue, and all of these adhesives that I'm using today are also available on my online store, and I'll be listing those as well. So it's one-stop shopping, which is what I like, because I'm not somebody that likes to go shopping very much, to be honest. Get that exactly where I want it. Again, I'm going to take my bone folder. I want to spread that glue nice and even across the entire card. And there's my pretty little springtime celebration of the daffodils, which are finally out there blooming for us today. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to take a quick look, see if there's any questions. Oh, Ginger's asking what I'm ordering from the new catalog. Well, I do have a wish list, that's for sure. Maybe what I'll do, maybe next Monday, um, what's the date next Monday? I guess it's a little too soon. What I will do is when the new catalog is live, Ginger, I'm gonna page through the whole thing and just talk about all the things that I like. And one thing I know that I'm getting, which I already have ordered in the pre-order, is Happiness Abounds, and that's the one that I used to paint the rose the other day. So that's a nice set. And yeah, I definitely have my eye on a few other things. So as we get a little bit closer to the date, I will start talking more and more about that. It is simple, Sandra, when you know how. You know, it's the painting of the thing is easy. It's the understanding and the knowledge that's behind it that's so essential. And that is what we focus on in the Watercolor Card Club. And that's going to make your painting so much better, so much faster too. Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you all so much for joining me. Again, all the things that I used today are going to be posted below. There's going to be a host code, so if you'd like to get some of these things, please use that host code when you're ordering, because that's going to get you a nice little gift from me if you place an order of $100 or more. I think I've covered everything for today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Stay happy, stay well, stay creative, and I will see you next time.